good afternoon from Anfield. Liverpool against Accrington Stanley in the FA Cup third round. The fog just clearing over the city centre, over the Kop, away to our right hand side. We're high up here in the main stand of Anfield on the third tier. Can see across the city the old factories in the smoke of the fog. Away to our right hand side, the sun with its rays poking through the thin grey cloud above Merseyside this afternoon. 86 places between the pair as Liverpool, the highest ranked team in the FA Cup third round, sit top of the Premier League. Accrington Stanley in League 2 and 19th, 5 points above the relegation zone. Liverpool have plenty of FA Cup history. Accrington Stanley's history is one of collapse, rebuild and a famous milk advert. Today the question is less who are they and more how did they, if they can pull off one of the Cup's greatest upsets. Now, Liverpool are taking no chances. 8 changes, but still a strong lineup from Arne Slot, the Liverpool manager. It's a side that features Trent Alexander-Arnold, Dominic Szoboszlai and Diogo Jota. 3 remain from the Spurs League Cup semi-final first leg defeat on Wednesday in Kwanzaa, Tsimikas and Jota. But the real headline is that 16-year-old Rio Ingamoa starts. Born August 2008, he is the youngest ever player to start a game for Liverpool in any competition. So they've got Kevin Kelleher in goal. He replaces their Premier League number 1 in Alisson. Strong back 4, which consists of Alexander-Arnold, Quansah, Endo and Tsimikas, who in 2022 scored the penalty that won Liverpool the FA Cup against Chelsea. Tyler Morton and Szoboszlai hold the midfield. Elliot Jota and Ingamoa, the left winger, sit just behind Darwin Núñez. As for Accrington Stanley, they're unchanged. A side selected by manager John Doolan, who is an Everton season ticket holder. What it would be for him to win here today as Accrington Stanley lead the teams out of the tunnel in their royal blue away shirts. A big moment for some of those players, including their goalkeeper Billy Crellin, who is on loan from Everton. They've got a back 4 of Love, Rawson, Orr and Woods, Martin and Kumbeni in midfield. Then you've got Josh Woods, who is a massive Liverpool fan and was tweeted by Ibrahima Konate, the Liverpool defender, just as the draw for the third round was made last month. Hunter and Worley also in that attacking 3 behind the striker of Walton, who himself is also a Liverpool fan. 4,700 Accrington Stanley fans line the Anfield Road bottom tier away to our left hand side. A couple of banners being waved around at pitch side, some scarves being held aloft, but they're going to be drowned out by the noise of You'll Never Walk Alone. And despite some seats being visible in what is usually a packed Kop, okay, it's perhaps not a glamour tie for Liverpool and doesn't mean as much to them as it does to Accrington Stanley, but still the banners, the scarves held aloft away down to our right hand side. Mark Albrighton, the former Aston Villa and Leicester City midfielder, alongside me for this one. It is the FA Cup third round. Here we go.
Yeah, this is a weekend certainly that my favourite weekend of the football calendar. I know obviously you've got the finals in May, but I think this weekend it's just the purity of football, the purity of the game. You don't know whether there's going to be upsets. There usually is in some ties, but even this occasion now, what we're witnessing, the famous "You'll Never Walk Alone" anthem ringing around Anfield. You've got, like you say, Liverpool fans in the Accrington Stanley team. What a feeling this must be for them. So this weekend it gives players from lower league teams the opportunity to witness things like this, which is absolutely incredible for football.
This is what the FA Cup is all about, particularly the earlier rounds, as the sun still tries to force its way through the clouds as Jerry and the Pacemakers rings across Anfield. The Accrington Stanley captain Sean Worley gets a hug off Trent Alexander-Arnold, who himself captains Liverpool under much fire after last weekend's performance against Manchester United. He starts today in quite a strong Liverpool lineup. Are you surprised how strong Arne Slot's gone, Mark?
I'm not really, no. I think he'll want to keep a rhythm. He'll want to keep a rhythm to what his side are doing. Yeah, they've probably, the last couple of results haven't been what they wanted it to be, but in terms of the season as a whole, they've been the best team in the country so far by some way as well. So I'm sure he'll just want to keep that rhythm, keep players playing, and keep them fitness levels there.
Well, the old Accrington Stanley that unfortunately went bust did manage to play Liverpool in an FA Cup tie back in the 1950s. However, the reform, the rebuild, sees this as the first two meetings between these two particular sides were underway. It is Accrington Stanley to get us going. Liverpool, the home side, from right to left in the first half, attacking away from the Kop in their all red kit. Accrington Stanley have had to have the change strip. They also traditionally play in red. They are from left to right in the opening 45 minutes attacking the Kop, and I imagine for the likes of Walton and Josh Woods, if they could score at the Kop end, that is the stuff of dreams.
Yeah, it don't even bear thinking about. I'm sure that's everything that they were dreaming about last night before the game. It's something probably that they've been thinking about since the tie got announced. But it's just to play it, absolutely incredible for any player, let alone a fan of Liverpool and your boyhood team. It's what this competition is all about, and it creates them opportunities.
Well, Mark's boyhood team, Aston Villa, through to the fourth round. They beat West Ham last night. This was a 12:15 kick-off. Three other ties kicked off at 12 o'clock. Already some early goals there. Birmingham City lead Lincoln City by 1-0. And the game that you can hear on 5 Live Sport right now, Bristol City 0, Wolves 1. Vitor Pereira's side taking the lead at Ashton Gate. But you've got commentary right now of that one with Alistair Bruce Ball and the former Wolves man Dave Edwards on 5 Live. Plenty of live action to come throughout the day here on Sports Extra as well. Once we're done here at Anfield, Rugby Union Champions Cup, Exeter against Bordeaux. Then FA Cup third round action at 5:30 with Manchester City against Salford. Liverpool here have come down their near left hand side, won a throw in, which Costa Tsimikas, the Greek player, will take, throws it in short to Soberslai. And then Rio Ingamoa, who Arne Slot says he isn't afraid to show what he can do in training, now has to do it for the very first time in the Liverpool first team.
Yeah, he does, and obviously it's a stage that he won't be too familiar with. He won't have played in front of this many people before, but I had a close eye on him in the warm up, and he looks a confident boy. He looks settled already. He looks like he's ready to show his talents. Like his manager says, he's not going to be afraid of that, and he's got the stage to do it on now. He was really getting involved in the possession that the Liverpool players were doing, so it's a good opportunity for him.
Trent Alexander-Arnold moves across the halfway line out towards the right hand side, gets towards the corner of the penalty area. Now Harvey Elliott, it's a square pass towards Dominic Soberslai, falls to Ingamoa on the left of the penalty area, has to just work his way back towards the near side, swung in by Tsimikas and hacked away. Where it's Liverpool 0, Accrington Stanley 0. A fairly pressurising start to the game for Accrington Stanley, trying to get into Liverpool, but the Premier League side, the Premier League leaders, the highest ranked team in the third round, holding their own and trying to slowly get forward. One dangerous ball in by Tsimikas was defended well. Liverpool 0, Accrington Stanley 0. So Liverpool in possession with Watari Endo, who's filling in at centre-back today. Jarell Quansah really the only recognised centre-back, but a test for Arne Slot to see what the capabilities of his side are. A little bit of snow mounted up on the advertising boards behind the goal to our right-hand side where the Kop is, and also on the far side of the field as well. And in front of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand, it is still in the minus temperatures here on Merseyside. Although as some as the ice that's gathered in the roof starts to thaw, it is dripping down on some unlucky supporters beneath us here at Anfield, and suddenly I'm quite glad that we're sat where we are, because a couple of rows in front of us would be having a constant drip on our head throughout the afternoon. Long ball forward by Liverpool, easily gathered by Billy Crellin in the Accrington Stanley penalty area.
Yeah, it's been a positive start. I think Accrington will be fairly pleased as well. They've had a little bit of the ball. I'm pleased to see that they've got a couple of lads that are playing high up and they're not just gonna. It doesn't look like they're just going to sit back and soak up all this pressure. It looks like they are going to try and get as many numbers forward as possible. Whether that's the right thing to do from a results point of view, but I'm not sure. But it's nice to see a lower league team come here and really have a go and really be positive about the occasion.
Set defensively at the minute, because here's Ingamoa, who was born in 2008, the same year that Mark Albrighton made his debut. Feel old yet?
Thanks for that.
It is scary when you see young players with that much talent coming through. Signed from the Chelsea Academy in the summer. Did Ingamoa? What's the message to him today?
I think enjoy it. I think enjoy the occasion. Enjoy your first taste of first team football, because it's a moment that you'll remember throughout your career, and even when you finish playing as well. It's an important day for him. It'll seem it today, but Jota's through there. Yeah, it's an important day for him, and like I say, one that he'll remember for the rest of his career.
0-0, 5 minutes played. Liverpool building midway inside the Accrington Stanley half, a square pass from the left-hand side to the right, from Szoboszlai to Alexander-Arnold, and now Harvey Elliott again tricks his way towards the edge of the penalty area. Pulls it back for Alexander-Arnold, flicked through by Tyler Morton, and anywhere will do in that case for Accrington Stanley, as Tyler Walton just tries to turn his man, get round the corner up towards the halfway line. Didn't quite come off, but he had seen that Sean Worley, the Accrington captain, was just lurking ahead of him. Ball swung in to the back post, Elliott on the slide, and it's off the line. Good defending by Accrington Stanley. In fact, it might have just gone over anyway. It was one of those dangerous balls floated in early from the left, I think by Darwin Nunez, and Harvey Elliott was stretching at the back post to try and send that over. A couple of yards out, he pulled it across, and then the header from Nunez went over the bar.
Yeah, the first sight of goal for Liverpool. Great ball in by Tsimikas. He does that so well. He's got such a good delivery. And obviously Nunez in the box is a real threat. This one goes deep. Harvey Elliott getting in at the back post where all good wide players should be, and creating something from it. But yeah, like I say, that's the first sight in a goal, and I'm sure that will give him confidence for the remainder of this game.
If you were listening to the Friday night social last night with Darren Fletcher, Kevin Nolan and Dion Dublin, one of the challenges that Fletch gives the lads is to predict one of the shocks of the weekend, and one of them, I can't remember whether it was Kevin Nolan or Dion Dublin, went for Bristol City to beat Wolves. Far from it at the minute. They've played just over 20 minutes there, and Gomez has just doubled Wolves' lead, so it is Bristol City 0, Wolves 2. Bristol City on the cusp of the playoffs in the Championship. 0-0 here between Premier League Liverpool and League 2 Accrington Stanley. Billy Krellin rushes his clearance and slices it out towards the far side. Accrington Stanley have managed to keep the possession here rather well, with Dan Martin far side the left, lays it back to Krellin, who is in a luminous yellow outfit. He then sends it long with his right boot over the halfway line, will give Endo something to chase along with Tyler Walton. Endo comfortably nudges that back to Quaveen Kelleher, who probably on an afternoon like this, in the biting cold of Merseyside, probably doesn't want to be a goalkeeper. You want to be out there running around, don't you?
You definitely don't want to be diving around, not on a wet surface. But yeah, these goalkeepers are crazy people. I don't think I've met a sane one in my whole career of playing, so yeah, they're used to it.
Liverpool down the right hand side, ball run over the touchline before Harvey Elliott has a chance to get on the end of it, so throw in to Accrington Stanley midway inside their own half. Goalkeepers a little bit exposed. Players obviously in the outfield get to run around. If you're on the bench, I believe, Mark Albrighton, you get heated blankets and heated trousers these days.
Yeah, it's come a long way. It has come a long way. Blankets, hot water bottles, heated trousers, heated seats. They've got all the gear.
Soft and spoilt is what that is. You're having to slum it up in the press box here at Anfield this afternoon. Many layers worn. Here's Ingamoa, the youngster of Liverpool, then on his first start for the club, trying to weave away down the left-hand side. He's challenged, and Accrington can clear it away into the Liverpool half again. Endo is on the mop-up, and Kelleher has the ball to feet. Accrington have played Liverpool's under-21s in recent history in the Football League Trophy. October 2019, October 2022. They won both 5-2 and 3-2. If we get anything like that, we're in for a very dramatic day of FA Cup third round action across 5 Live Sport and 5 Sports Extra. Plenty more to come. Your next commentary after Bristol City Wolves on 5 Live is Brentford Plymouth, and then Leeds Harrogate to come from 5:45, 6:06 tonight from 7:45, where you can have your say on 08085 909 693. It's Soberslight for Liverpool, 20 yards outside his own penalty area. Accrington are trying the press here, and Liverpool just working the ball up towards the halfway line, trying to find the gaps, being patient. That just brings the lulling atmosphere here at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Accrington Stanley 0.
Yeah, just watching that sequence of play there, and Liverpool just building up from the back, and Accrington are pressing man for man all over, and obviously it's a positive sign from their point of view, but it's going to be a struggle to keep that up all afternoon, especially with like the fitness levels and the physicality of this Liverpool team. You have to really be at your best.
Down the right hand side come Liverpool with Tyler Morton, Soberslight, Alexander-Arnold joining the attack now. Accrington Stanley have won the ball and want to send it long towards the near side with Worley, but Endo intercepts. Had he not, then Worley might have been through. Tsimikas, 11 minutes played, 0-0. Here's Ingamoa, where we're watching Ingamoa on the ball, the youngster for Liverpool on his debut, the youngest ever player to start for Liverpool. Comes down the left-hand side, has given it to Tsimikas, who's swung one dangerous ball in. Might get another chance here. Accrington Stanley have defended pretty well so far, but the ball runs to Alexander-Arnold, and Krellin has to get down low, and then Nunes sent it over the bar. Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, their best bit of play so far, Liverpool. Tsimikas again down his left-hand side. He's, like you said there, he's already put one good ball in that's created an opportunity. He's done it again there. He's faked the cross. He's ended up passing it across the 18-yard box, and Trent Alexander-Arnold arriving in great timing, and gets a great strike off. It's a good save, and then the rebound falls to Darwin Nunes, who just strikes it over the bar there. But Liverpool looking a little bit more likely now.
Big save for Billy Krellin, the Everton loanee here at Anfield against Liverpool for Accrington Stanley. 0-0. Trent Alexander-Arnold absolutely powered that ball at Krellin, who got down well, spread his legs, and it was his legs that made the save.
Yeah, we've seen his technique so often, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and there he's showcased it again. It's a lovely strike. He's a real pure striker of the football, and like I say, he certainly showed it there, and a great save from the keeper, Billy Krellin.
So we've played nearly 13 minutes. Liverpool 0, Accrington Stanley 0. That was the first real chance for Liverpool in this game. I know Darwin Nunes has headed one over the bar, but a tricky situation for him on that one. This one a little bit more clear cut for him, but it was the powerful shot of Alexander-Arnold. Now at the other end, here come the League Two side, and it's Worley on the left. He's got to turn inside of Endo. Worley will go for it. The cross takes a deflection, then it's headed into the middle of the 6-yard box and hacked away by Soberslight. Well, Accrington suddenly had space on the left, and they nearly made it count.
They did, yeah. It's a lovely move, and he decides to cut back and go himself. And I think it was Sean Wally who was on the left-hand side there, and he's cut in and he's had the shot. And it was a great opportunity. They had bodies in the box, like we were saying at the start of the game. It's good that they're being positive and they're getting numbers forward.
It's sent forward towards Elliott. Now here come Liverpool on their own charge with Ingamoa. Oh, it was a big chance on the left of the penalty area, 10 yards out. The angle was slightly against him, but he sliced his left-footed shot, and it almost ran out for a throw, and they've kept it in play, Liverpool, by the touchline on the far side. But Ingamoa could have really had a dream debut there. Should have hit that a lot cleaner and better.
Yeah, he's just not caught it, as he's hit with his heel as the ball's come across. He's just caught the back of his heel, and it's gone all the way across. But it's good to see him getting in them positions. If he keeps taking up them positions during the game, I'm sure he'll get more and better chances than the one he got there.
A bit of a biting breeze around the top of the main stand here at Anfield at the minute. Here's Gerald Quansah to just move out towards the far side right. Liverpool in their red shirts from right to left in this first half. Again, as they get 25 yards out or so, Accrington are able to throw a boot in and make it stick. Here's Szoboszlai out towards the left hand side where Tsimikas has the support of Ingamoa, forces the pass through with the edge of his boot. Now Ingamoa weaves his way to the edge of the penalty area, into the box as well. Few step overs, lays it back. Szoboszlai waiting on the edge of the box. Tsimikas will try and fire in a low ball. Two Accrington Stanley players slide in Josh Wood, and I think Donald Love was there as well, the former Manchester United youngster, and they've managed between them to only concede a corner for Liverpool.
Yeah, it's a lot of what Liverpool are creating is down this left hand side, and this is where they look the most threatening. Obviously now this first set piece, let's see what they can muster up from here.
Aiming towards the goal where there are over 4,500 Accrington Stanley supporters, and the corner comes in. It is headed back out towards the corner taker in Szoboszlai, who's now midway inside the Accrington half, changes direction to dart down the left hand side. Is pulled over by the experience of Sean Worley there, and it's going to give Liverpool a free kick out on this near side.
Yeah, it's positive. It's becoming more and more one-sided in Liverpool's favour, which I think we all expected. But from me saying that, I think 15-16 minutes gone, I think Accrington Stanley will be fairly pleased with the scoreline and how they've done it. There's not been too many clear-cut chances, so another set piece here for Liverpool, and we'll see what comes of this.
Tsimikas and Ingamoa over it. It will be left-footed of Tsimikas towards the back post. That's an easy one to be flicked on and out for a corner by Dan. Martin was taking no chances. Sensible thing to do, 0-0.
Yeah, dealt well with again, just like the corner just previous to that. They look organised from set pieces. They do look like they've got the bodies in the area, and they're not afraid to go and head the ball. They've covered all bases, so it's they seem to know what they're doing defensively.
Birmingham City still lead by a goal 2-0 over Lincoln. Wolves still 2-0 up at Ashton Gate against Wolves. You can hear that on 5 Live Sport. In comes the corner from the far side, headed away by Worley at the near post, flicked on with the head back out towards the touchline for Tyler Morton. Tsimikas isn't going to swing it in from there, so gives it to Harvey Elliott to roll down the inside right channel. And the outside of his boot finds Darwin Nunez. Faz Rawson stands up against him in between the box and touchline. It's then a switch of play that's floated up. Accrington Stanley will be very happy with the fact that they forced Liverpool back towards the halfway line, inside the centre circle with Tsimikas, still goalless. That's an arcing ball that needs to be dealt with by Zach Oren. Is on the edge of his box, he volleys away. He has to twist and turn his body to make sure he gets a clean connection on the ball. He does, and Worley now for Accrington Stanley has it on the left hand side. Here's Ash Hunter, whose former club Salford City are against Manchester City later, flicked on over the top. Worley's run through here. Worley on the left hand side looking for Walton in the middle. It's headed behind from Tsimikas, and Accrington Stanley have a corner at Anfield. 18 minutes played, still goalless, and a little roar from the 4,700 Accrington Stanley fans away at the opposite end of the field to our left hand side.
Yeah, it's similar to the chance that Accrington had before, with the ball round the corner in that left wing position to Sean Worley, who's always on the front foot. And again, he's tried crossing this one. He went for goal himself the last time, but to get a corner out of it, he's done very well there.
Corner far side, the left then, which Worley will take, bends it right towards Kelleher. The heads go up. Josh Woods was lurking, and in fact Josh Woods has left a little too much on at one of the players he was trying to beat in a red shirt of Liverpool. Then the referee has given the home side a free kick inside their own 6-yard box.
Yeah, obviously, like we were saying, it's been mainly Liverpool that have had the onus, but I've been really impressed with when Accrington have had the ball, and they have tried a couple of passages of play. They don't just look to boot it forward into the channels and chase that and then get out. They've looked to make passes, and I think that is the way to beat this Liverpool press. I think the first 1 or 2 passes are the most important to create that opening to then play the the final pass, or the pass forward, if you like. So if they continue to do that, I'm sure they can create a few more opportunities. But again, like I say, positive start.
So 0-0. Liverpool haven't lost to lower league opposition since losing to Oldham in 2013. 3-2 at Boundary Park. Knocked out in the quarter-final stage with that thrill at Old Trafford last season, losing 4-3 against Manchester United. Amad Diallo, a hero that day, just like he was here a week ago in salvaging that 2-2 draw for Manchester United in the Premier League. Liverpool still comfortably top, however. Endo towards the edge of the centre circles. Liverpool look to try and get on the march again. They spent a lot of the time, whilst you were talking there, Mark Albright, and just passing it on the edge of their own penalty area. Accrington are keeping them at bay.
Yeah, like I say, I think Accrington look really organised. They look really set up well. They've got triggers of when to press by the looks of it. Sometimes they'll let Liverpool have the ball and they'll let them pass it in front of their own 18-yard box, but then something will trigger them for them to then start the press. And like I say, it's a man-for-man press there, and each one of them bodies knows when to go and who to go to. So if they can stay organised, stay disciplined and compact in shape, then if they can do the other side of it as well, who knows.
Free kick to Liverpool, left-hand side. They've just rolled it across the halfway line, really, from that, with Donald Love going in late on Darwin Nunez. Now in Gamoa, can't get round Josh Woods, and the throw-in given in Liverpool's favour, much to Josh Woods' annoyance. It was the official on this near side, stood on the halfway line, that was looking down the line to give that decision. Not that John Doolan's too happy. So John Doolan's an Everton fan, the Accrington Stanley manager. His assistant, a Liverpool fan. So I can imagine there's some hostile Mondays after Merseyside derbies maybe in the Accrington Stanley training ground. Here's Endo. So many links to both Liverpool and Everton on the pitch and in the stands today and in the dugout. Quansah for Liverpool, 0-0 here against Accrington Stanley of League 2 in the FA Cup third round. Still Birmingham City 1, Lincoln 0, Bristol City 0, Wolves 2. The other 12 o'clock kick-off, so around about 10 minutes to half-time. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn 0. One League 1 early kick-off survived the weather. Rotherham and Bolton, that's goalless. And one League 2 game also goalless, 0-0 between Walsall and Tranmere. Both of those were 12:30 kick-off, so we'll keep you across it here on 5 Live Sport and 5 Live Sports Extra. Liverpool come into a game for only the second time this season on the back of a defeat after losing to Spurs in the League Cup semi-final first leg on Wednesday night. Accrington take the throw in from deep inside their own half. Liverpool force it just about to the left-hand side. Lovely bit of skill from Ingamoa to keep it in play and turn down the line. Tsimikas fires that into the heels of Soberslai, and in the aftermath of all that bit of scrappy play on this near side touchline, Accrington's right, they've won themselves a free kick. They have, Mark Albrighton, survived the first half of the first half here, still goalless.
Yeah, I think they'll be really encouraged as well. They've not given away too many clear-cut chances.
Can they create a chance of their own? It is the outstretched leg of Tyler Walton. Swings the cross in, but he was always on the stretch, it just floats behind.
Yeah, as I was saying, they've not really created or conceded too many clear-cut chances, but it's been encouraging.
So 0-0, and Kelleher goes short to Gerald Quansah. Here is Endo, still inside the Liverpool penalty area. Kelleher just rolls that under his right boot. Accrington just keeping a high line here, and well, it's 0-0 between Liverpool and Accrington Stanley, and actually since you were last with us, it's Accrington who probably forced the better chances. Two ventures down the left-hand side, Mark Albrighton, with Sean Worley, the 37-year-old player, second spell at Accrington, really doing the business on that left-hand side.
Yeah, he's found himself in a lot of space on a couple of occasions now, where Trent Alexander-Arnold has gone forward for Liverpool, and Accrington have broke and found that space where Sean Worley has got into. The first time he decided to go for goal himself. The second time he's tried to pull it across goal. But really encouraging start with the ball. and even without the ball, they look really organised. They've got a press that every man knows what he's doing. So it's an encouraging start for Accrington.
Accrington Stanley, the League Two side, has survived the first half of the first half. Liverpool 0, Accrington Stanley 0. As Liverpool come forward, here's Tyler Morton, 30 yards from goal. Soberslai's one over to the right hand side in Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's a low cross that takes a deflection, comes to Harvey Elliott. He pokes it back out towards the far side of the field. Left footed cross this time from Alexander-Arnold, deflects and flies up into the air. Darwin Nunez the first under it, and back to Endo inside the centre circle.
Yeah, another good bit of play from Liverpool, but they just seem to get in this final third, and like I say, Accrington are so organised, and they're just blocking all the spaces, and Liverpool just can't find that through ball at the moment. They're being forced to cross on a few occasions, and they can't really find that killer pass at the moment.
Ingamoa, left-hand side, midway inside the Accrington Stanley half, but only a yard in from the touchline. Lays it to Tsimikas, to Soberslai, and now here's Quansah just to jog the ball forward. Flicks it almost half-heartedly out towards the right-hand side with Trent Alexander-Arnold. 20 minutes to half-time, still 0-0 in this game. Quansah, Elliott, and Liverpool now just try and turn up the pace a little bit and find the spaces. Bent in early, and that should be a comfortable one for Krellin to deal with. Ends up sprawling across his goal and conceding the corner in the end. It was a floated in delivery, looking for Kostas Tsimikas, I think, was in there as well, and between goalkeeper and defender, they just about mopped that up. Krellin made a little mess of that, and it's given Liverpool a corner. Yeah,
just a little bit of a mix-up between goalkeeper and defender, but they sorted it out in the end. If they can get away with this corner,
and keep the goals out for now. So Tsimikas backs down the touchline, a swing in this corner that is attacked at the near post poorly by Watari Endo, the Japanese, in his second season with the club, and it's out for an Accrington Stanley goal kick. Away to our left hand side, they've picked up a little knock in there. Nelson Kumbeni is down, just trying to see what happened to him there, and it was Endo's header that ultimately went wide, and it means that Accrington Stanley still have kept Liverpool out here. 0-0 the score, 27 minutes exactly on the clock at this Premier League ground, a Premier League ground that is well over 10 times the size of Accrington Stanley's home stadium, the Wham Stadium in East Lancashire, surrounded by the towns of Burnley and Blackburn. Endo back in his centre-back position, has the ball midway inside his own half. Tyler Morton is the option inside the centre circle, and as they try and get it out towards this near side, again looking for Ingamoa, that one's intercepted by Worley, who seemingly now is playing on the right, having started on the left and caused problems down the left. Maybe they are now going to give Tsimikas something to think about, as Donald Love intercepts a poor touch by Soberslai. It's a clever little turn in the centre circle by Tyler Walton, who's now coming down the field for Accrington Stanley, just holds it up outside the penalty area, has Soberslai all over the back of him. Ingamoa comes in late on the challenge, and as the ball runs over the touchline, the assistant flags Accrington Stanley here are going to have a free kick, which undoubtedly Mark Albrighton is a chance to have the set piece and swing the ball into the penalty area to cause problems.
Yeah, Tyler Walton did really well there. He held on to the ball, he's gone away from goal, and he didn't really have too many options, so he's been clever, put his body in between the ball and the player, and managed to get himself and his team a free kick in a dangerous position, and the Accrington are going to have to look to opportunities like this to try and make a breakthrough.
So Worley and Woods, the two over it. It's a couple of yards in from the touchline on this near side there right. It will solely be Woods to swing it in. Tsimikas heads it away. It drops to Ash Hunter, who can't really do much with the ball, and maybe Liverpool can get on the counter-attack now. It's swept on through for Darwin Nunez right at the penalty area. Has got one with him. It's a tap-in for Diogo Jota, and it has taken Liverpool nearly half an hour, but they have eventually broken through Accrington Stanley. It comes from a Accrington set piece at one end, and charging down the field, the assist from Nunez, and it's a tap-in on the edge of the 6-yard box, central position for Diogo Jota, and it's Liverpool 1, Accrington Stanley 0.
Yeah, so much quality going through that goal, it looks simple. They've made it look really simple. Szoboszlai gets the ball, plays the ball down to Trent Alexander-Arnold with a lovely pass. Trent, first time through to Nunes, who makes a great run, and then the square pass has to be perfect. But the quality in the passes and the detail, absolutely fantastic.
So Liverpool lead by 1-0. Accrington from their own mistake, and that's going to annoy them, having held out for so long. Half an hour played. Accrington now will be trying to manage towards the end of this half. Well, Liverpool have the lead. It's taken them half an hour, but they broke down from an Accrington Stanley free kick, which was swung into the penalty area. Liverpool cleared it, went down the other end. Nunes put it on a plate for Jota. It's a tap-in. It's Liverpool 1, Accrington Stanley 0. So Liverpool lead, and now Accrington Stanley might just get to half-time with this 1-0.
Yeah, I think the most disappointing thing from an Accrington point of view there is the goal comes from their free kick in a dangerous position, and then obviously Liverpool are masters at attacking fast in the counter attack. So that's not a shock from that point of view. But for it to start at this end of the field, it's disappointing from their point of view. But like you say, they'll just be looking to get to half time now, and if it can stay like this, then it's still not the end of the world.
Half time at St Andrews, Birmingham City 1, Lincoln City 0. That's an all League One affair. Birmingham City flying high in League One, much like Liverpool are in the Premier League, and they now lead by 1-0 in this game. But Accrington Stanley have defended responsibly and astutely throughout, and just when they were exposed, sending a few more numbers forward for that free kick, as Liverpool almost get themselves in a little bit of trouble there. A few passes towards the goalkeeper that invited the Accrington Stanley press, but in doing so, once Liverpool have got out of that tricky situation, they can get to the halfway line, and again looking for the exposed back line of the League Two side. Here's Alexander-Arnold inside the centre circle. Now Accrington Stanley have managed to get themselves organised once again. Here's Ingamoa, the 16-year-old. He won't turn 17 until August. Youngest ever starter for Liverpool. Not the youngest ever player. That was Sinclair in 2012. 16 years and 6 days old, but he came off the bench against West Brom in a League Cup tie. So a little bit of personal history for Rio Ingamoa this afternoon here on Merseyside in the freezing cold conditions. Bristol City have one back, so Bristol City 1, Wolves 2. That's available for you now on 5 Live Sport, as Elliott tries to turn it around the corner for Darwin Nunez. He can't, and despite the Uruguayan putting the pressure on Dan Martin, it's out for an Accrington Stanley goal kick to our left hand side. 1-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, I think I noticed in the first sort of 25 minutes, I think that Liverpool didn't really have the runners that they usually have, trying to break the lines, trying to get in behind the defence. It was very much in front of Accrington Stanley, which would have played into their hands. But then the first time that it happens, the ball comes to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he plays a lovely first time ball round the corner where Darwin Nunez has made a run and broke the line, squares it, and that's where the goal comes from. So that was probably the difference in cutting through Accrington Stanley.
Scott Twine with the Bristol City goal, incidentally. Alexander-Arnold, Darwin Nunez, and now Kostas Tsimikas as the ball is flicked up to him, left of centre, midway inside the Accrington Stanley half. Still 12 minutes to half time here. FA Cup third round day across 5 Live and 5 Live Sports Extra. It's gone out of play from Ingamoa. Gives Accrington Stanley a throw in deep inside their own half, just to show you the contrast of these two teams. 20 years ago this year, Liverpool were winning the Champions League. Accrington Stanley were in the National League and lost in the FA Cup 4th qualifying round to Lee RMI that season. Such is the rise of Accrington into the Football League, and being consistent there ever since. Flat ball down the middle, picked off by Billy Crellin. So Liverpool still lead by 1-0. And Billy Crellin, the Accrington Stanley goalkeeper, on loan from Everton. He's previously been at Bolton. He was part of the England camp that won the Under-17 World Cup in 2017. The year that Phil Foden made his breakthrough. Long clearance away from his own penalty area. Offside flag goes up, so that gives Liverpool their own free kick. Where Liverpool lead by 1-0, courtesy of Diogo Jota's goal on the half hour. Apart from that, Accrington had defended pretty responsibly and astutely, but from their own free kick at one end, Liverpool managed to break, use the pace. Alexander-Arnold through to Darwin Núñez, he squared it across, and a tap in for Diogo Jota. For now, Mark Albright, it's all about just keeping Liverpool at bay, keeping it 1-0 for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, it is. I think get to half time like this, and I don't think they'll be too worried, and they'll be slightly pleased. But like you say, they did really well for the first 25 minutes. They can be really pleased with their performance. I think that they had some encouraging signs going forward as well, and I think how the goals come about will just disappoint them slightly, having come from their free kick in a dangerous position. But Liverpool are very threatening.
Commentary continues on Sports Extra. Liverpool 1, Accrington Stanley 0. With little over 9 minutes to half time, Kelleher at walking pace. Time to assess where to take the pass. There isn't a great press anymore from Accrington Stanley, although I have to say they are putting the numbers into the Liverpool half, to be fair to them. When Liverpool are on the edge of their own penalty area, right now we can see 6 blue shirts of Accrington Stanley, all marking the likes of Alexander-Arnold, Morton, Sobersley and co, just hoping for a mistake.
Yeah, and I think with the way that they're pressing, like I say, man-to-man press, it's very much a match-up, and you've got to be more physical. You've got to be stronger than your opponent. So this is where it's gonna take its toll as the game goes on, I think.
Manchester City against Salford City next to come on Sports Extra later. As Elliott has it, Elliott takes the shot straight at Crellin from the right of the D. He just flicked it up straight chest height at the goalkeeper. Could have done better there, Harvey Elliott. Billy Crellin with a grateful grasp of the ball to his chest.
Yeah, lovely bit of play by Diogo Jota, driving forward, plays a lovely little chip ball through to, I think it's Tyler Morton. He's just played behind Harvey Elliott, if I've got one bit of defence for him, but he's tried to whip it round, and he's not quite got enough on it.
Jota just trying to put through Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right of the penalty area. He couldn't. Then Accrington try and send a long ball forward that is headed and intercepted by Tsimikas. Here is Tyler Morton with number 80 on his back, and now 22 years old. He's the midfielder who spent last season on loan at Hull City in the Championship. Ingamoa, good sliding challenge on this near side from Josh Woods, gives Liverpool the throw-ins, just stalls their attack temporarily. Liverpool 1, Accrington Stanley 0. The visitors in those royal blue shirts with the white shorts and blue socks, left to right, shooting towards the Kop, where Liverpool fan Tyler Walton, their forward, will be hoping to score a goal this afternoon, but time is running out for him. He's not really had too many chances either. As you would expect, it was always going to be a difficult tie for the League Two opponents of Liverpool this afternoon, but they've stayed in the game and are far from embarrassing themselves out there, which I guess can always be a fear when these kind of ties are created. But Liverpool, as strong as they are, have been held out so far. They only lead by 1-0. Hazy mist across the city of Liverpool above the Sir Kenny Dalglish down in the Kop, away to our right hand side, which we can see. We're up in the gods here, the main stand. The sun breaking through the clouds creates that hazy mist. Here's Gerald Quansah for Liverpool. A cold day, but the players doing plenty of running there to prevent perhaps feeling that biting wind that just picks up every now and then and swirls around your ankles. Deep in the corner of their own half here, Accrington Stanley need a way out with Zach Orr, who just turns nicely against Darwin Núñez, and if he does nothing else this afternoon, that'll be a nice little moment for him.
Right in front of his fans as well. I'm sure he'll get the clip of that from the analyst, and that'll be on his Instagram later, I'm sure.
And there's a club photographer behind that goal as well. Make sure you've got a snap to frame on your wall at home too. Here's Alexander-Arnold. And Sobersley tricks his way forward and then falls over. Looked for it, and the referee, who this afternoon is Mr. Smith, wasn't buying the dive from Sobersley. Good interception from Kambeni there. Now Morton from range. It was drifting and floating towards goal with Krellin off his line, but with a little skip in the air from the goalkeeper, it goes over the crossbar. Liverpool 1, Accrington Stanley 0.
Yeah, worth a shot there from Tyler Morton. He's a long way out, but he gets the ball out of his feet. He's got good technique, so no problem with him taking the shot on there, just slightly too high. But I think Liverpool have played this well. As pleased as Accrington will be, I think Liverpool will be just as pleased. They've been professional, they've been patient, they've got the goal, and I think if they just keep moving the ball the way that they are doing, Accrington will tire, and that's one thing that we're looking for.
Yeah, they're looking for the exposed gaps again. Jota to Nunez on the right hand side. He then pirouettes on the ball, has 3 blue shirts around him, goes down, but the ball runs to Morton in the centre circle. Here's Endo, and now to Quansah across the halfway line for Trent Alexander-Arnold, one of those big names that Arne Slot has stuck with this afternoon. He named a relatively strong side. Alexander-Arnold is now trying to battle his way up against Ben Woods. 2 Woods out there for Accrington Stanley. Josh and Ben. Krellin drifts it out towards this near side, where it's taken nicely by Josh Woods. A couple of touches too many, and Liverpool pick the ball off again. Now it's Jota trying to get it out of his feet. Square pass to Darwin Nunez, who takes the shot on the turn. Kimbeni right behind him, deflects off his boots and goes behind for a Liverpool corner. Yeah,
I think he's chose the wrong option there for me. I think he's got Harvey Elliott next to him. He's got Trent Alexander-Arnold coming down even wider of Harvey Elliott as well. I just think there's a couple more options there. He's not really got the space to get a clean shot off. So I think if he looks back at that, there's probably a couple of options that he could have done better.
4 minutes to half time. Liverpool 1, Accrington Stanley 0. This corner on the near side left. Tsimikas left footed, out swinging delivery. It's attacked by a couple of Liverpool players, but it's an Accrington head that manages to see it away, and maybe now an Accrington counter attack if they can play the right ball over the top. There's a lot of work for Walton to do, and for Hunter as well, but eventually the challenge comes in and Hunter can't get forward. He was always searching for the ball when it went over the top of him, launched over by Worley, and Liverpool are back in control.
Yeah, 2 great tackles in that sequence. That most recent one by Tyler Morton.
Soberslight, it's in the edge of the penalty area. It's blocked off once, then Morton forces it out to the right hand side for Elliott, tries to cross it in. Suspicion of handball against Zach Orr, not given. Hacked away by Accrington and out towards the far side throw-in. Yeah,
I think with the break that Accrington just had with I think Harvey Elliott done absolutely fantastic to get back. Trent Alexander-Arnold's back there. He delays it, but Harvey Elliott, who's not shy of doing his defensive work, has sprinted back and made a superb tackle.
And still 1-0 Liverpool then, who play it back towards the middle of the pitch. And now Tsimikas on the left hand side, little douse of sunshine in that left hand quadrant of the pitch, if you will, on the near side, where Liverpool are attacking with Ingamoa. Back towards the edge of the centre circle for Endo. Couple of minutes to half time, won't be too much added time, you suspect, for Liverpool to go in at the break. A goal to the good. The 2022 FA Cup winners, the 8-time winners of this tournament, against Accrington Stanley, who have progressed from their last 4 round 3 ties, most recently hitting round 4 where they lost to Leeds in 2023. But for now, the League 2 side are a goal down. Bristol City 2-1 down at the break against Wolves. Birmingham City lead Lincoln by a goal to 0 at the break there. They were 12 o'clock kickoffs. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn 0 as well. In League 1 it's still Rotherham 0, Bolton 0, and Walsall are 2-0 up on Tranmere. 5 live from 3 o'clock will bring you Brentford against Plymouth. Sports Extra is going to bring you Champions Cup action, Rugby Union Champions Cup action. Exeter against Bordeaux. Endo, good vision, launches it over the top, looking for the run of Elliott. Too much on it in the end, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Still Liverpool leading by a goal to 0.
Yeah, again, that's credit to Accrington. They're, like I've said before, they're organised, they're compact. They're not leaving many gaps through the centre of the pitch, so it forces passes like that from Endo to try and go over the top, and on that occasion it's too big. But I think I've been really impressed with Accrington in this first half. I think they've done really well. They've been organised. They've really done their tactical work well. And to only be a goal down, I think they'll have took that at half time and they've got a chance for.
Szoboszlai with an arcing ball with his right boot out towards the left hand side. It runs past one, but it does find Ingemoa still, and with the shot into a crowd of blue shirts of Accrington. Stanley, Donald Love in the mix of that one. Here's Szoboszlai again, and then the long range effort is a brilliant goal from Trent Alexander-Arnold right on half time. It's a crucial blow to Accrington Stanley, but it's a thunderbolt from Trent Alexander-Arnold on the corner of the penalty area, right-footed, flies past Krellin, and it's Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0.
Yeah, and that's just that bit of quality. That's just that quality that they possess. Trent Alexander-Arnold, we've spoke about him earlier when he had the shot early on in the game with his technique, and this one, it comes across to him and he just, it's like a bit of a whip and a dip by the looks of it, and it goes into that far corner. What a moment for him. The manager's put him in as one of the most senior players, and he's repaid him there.
Brilliant shot from Trent Alexander-Arnold, right-footed, lets rip, and it flies past Billy Krellin with his outstretched arms. Nothing he could do. And although the scoreboard hasn't updated, Liverpool do lead by 2-0. We're into added time. There won't be much of it. That board went up during the goal celebration, so we missed how much added time. And Liverpool with a throw-in inside their own half, closing out now with the job done. And they lead by 2-0. Firstly, Diogo Jota, and then secondly, Trent Alexander-Arnold. And Accrington, who wanted to get into the break 1-0, could have reset. They've held their own pretty well, actually, in this game. Or now just going to go in a little deflated, and it might get a little bit worse here. Trent Alexander-Arnold, right-footed, floating ball over the top. That's more comfortable for Billy Krellin, and there goes the half-time whistle. It is from Trent Alexander-Arnold, right on the edge of half-time, 25 yards out, right-footed, put his laces through it, and it flew into the top left-hand corner past a sprawling Billy Krellin. Nothing he could do about that one. Brilliant second goal and a critical one for Liverpool, Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, it was, and I think that's been the difference. I think Accrington have been very organised, have been very disciplined. Their pressing's been good, but the 2 goals have come from moments of quality. I think the first goal was more collective quality throughout the team, but that second one is very much individual quality. Trent Alexander-Arnold with an incredible strike, incredible technique, and he's got the captain's armband today, and he's really repaid his manager with that. So just quality shown in this first half, and that's the difference.
Accrington have tried to defend their best. They did for large parts of the first half keep Liverpool at bay and even created a couple of chances of their own. But it's a tap-in for Diogo Jota and a brilliant strike for Trent Alexander-Arnold. That means at half-time in the FA Cup third round, no shock here yet, and probably unlikely as well. Premier League Liverpool 2, League 2 Accrington Stanley 0.
Celtic at Ross County, Kenny Crawford.
32 minutes gone, Ross County 0, Celtic 0. The man who's had Celtic's best chances, Canada international right back Alistair Johnson. He got on the end of Adam Ida's square ball inside the 6-yard box but Jordan Omisa, who used to be in goal for Sheffield United a few seasons ago, he saved that one well. So it's still Ross County 0, Celtic 0.
Just the one game in League One this afternoon that kicked off at 12:30. It's goalless between Rotherham and Bolton. Just 2 games in League 2 this afternoon. Swindon Crew gets underway at 3 o'clock. 10 minutes to go or so to half-time at Walsall. Shojo Saka.
Yeah, still Walsall 2, Tranmere 0. Surprisingly ill-tempered this one, given that Walsall have been pretty comfortable. A few tackles and the afters have got out of hand. I'm not sure it's really helping Walsall. They don't really need that. And also all these stoppages, you don't want to make the game longer on a cold day like this. It's Walsall 2, Tranmere 0.
Let's go back to Ashton Gate, where on the evidence of half-time, Wolves' new manager Vitor Pereira doesn't really talk much at the break. Ali, bearing in mind his side were out for about 7 minutes before Bristol City came out.
Yeah, but as I was saying at the start of the game, at least they're defending the half with the sunshine on it. So they were standing in the sunshine for 3 or 4 minutes. They're waiting for Bristol City to reappear, which they have, and the second half is underway. Bristol City 1, Wolves 2. So Bristol City getting their goal right at the end of that first half. Brilliant free kick from Scott Twine, which suddenly has this FA Cup tie back in the balance. Wolves coming out with a real sense of purpose, immediately attacking down the left-hand side. Aït-Nouri, the scorer of their first goal, made a little dart down the left, turns back, plays the ball back into midfield. João Gomes is there. He comes back to the debutant, Emmanuel Agbadou, left-sided centre-back for Wolves. I'll run you through the two full lineups again in just a second. But Bristol City have won the ball here inside their own half. Mehmeti sets off at a pace, chased by Andre for Wolves, who gets a foot in, and the ball goes out of play, actually for a throw in there to Wolves in their right back position. So Bristol City have Max O'Leary in goal. Their three centre-backs, George Tanner, Zach Viner and Luke McNally. Wing-backs Ross McCrory and Hayden Roberts. Marcus McGuane and Jason Knight, the captain, in central midfield. Scott Twine, the scorer of the free kick. Anis Mehmeti, both in support of the French striker Fally Mayulu. Wolves defending at the moment, having to try to hold Bristol City at bay. Found a bit of space to work with on the right here. There is Twine. Twine plays it to McCrory, wide on the right. Comes into midfield. Jason Knight with the sun right in his eyes there. Right-footed pass low. Goes to the right again to McCrory. Bristol City knock it around inside the Wolves half. Wolves are back in their defensive shape. Sam Johnston in goal for them. Matt Doherty, Santiago Bueno and Emmanuel Agbadou, the three centre-backs. Nice turn from Gonçalo Guedes inside his own half. Goes running away from McGuane. Lays the ball off here to Hwang. Hwang dribbling forward. João Gomes in support. Cut back to Hwang. Side puts it off target. And behind it goes for the goal kick. Slightly awkward one to try and finish. The ball bounced up on him and he tried to very deliberately place it in the far corner of the Bristol City goal. Didn't quite get there. Rodrigo Gomes wide on the right. Aït-Nouri on the left. Andre and João Gomes, the two central midfielders. Strand Larsen, the centre forward. Hwang and Gonçalo Guedes complete the Wolves lineup, who were very impressive. Dave Edwards, weren't they, Wolves in the first half? Had just been knocked back by the concession of the free kick just before half-time, but again, right at the start of the second half, showing the intention, the threat.
Yeah, they showed once again how good they are going forward, and it was all from Gonçalo Guedes, who receives the ball in central midfield. McGain is really tight to him, he just rolls him and then he exploits the space, running into the heart of the Bristol City defence. They get down the left-hand side, cross comes in to Hwang, who's arriving at the right time, should do better, but he flies it high over the bar.
McCrory can't quite keep the ball in play. Attacking position for Bristol City on the right, on the far side of the field to us. We're sitting in the Lansdowne stand here, giant modern stand that towers over the pitch. Opposite us is the Dolman stand. Wolves in the old gold, black trim, defending the goal away to our left, playing from left to right in this second half. You were actually saying, Dave, before the game, it reminds you of a mini Anfield, the way this stadium is set up. And I think with the red seats and the white, the red and white touches, that sort of brings it to mind as well. Here's Twine's ball to Mehmeti, 25 yards out, hits the shot, heavy deflection, bounces in front of Johnston, and he gets his body in the right position and makes the save.
Yeah, going back to the Anfield analogy, I remember when I first saw the stand, it was getting built initially the first year I come and played here, and then when I came back a couple of years later I saw the stand for the first time. It does mimic that main stand at Anfield, it really does. But Bristol City just get their own sight of goal early in this second half. A shot from the edge of the box from Mehmeti, takes a deflection, and then it goes into Sam Johnston's half. They'll be hoping to continue how they finished that first half as they really grew into the game.
Misplaced pass from Agbadou, frustrated with himself. He's the first signing in the January window for Wolves. 15-16 million, something like that, from Reims, Ivorian international, at centre-back. Vitor Pereira saying that he can play with the ball at his feet, but he's fast, big, strong, and we've certainly seen that. Mehmeti just caught inside his own half there by Andre, shakes his head, doesn't agree with the referee's decision. Then the ball is thrown back into the Bristol City half at the slight risk of delaying the restart of the game, which always sees a booking given for the player who does that, but referee Rob Jones decides not to go that way this time, decided there was not enough. In that Mehmeti, that was nearly loose with his right foot, slightly miscued the pass. It was nearly blocked by Rodrigo Gomes. It comes back to the goalkeeper, Max O'Leary. So Liverpool lead Accrington 2-0, half-time at Anfield. Second half commentary is over on Sports Extra. Middlesbrough and Blackburn is goalless. Birmingham lead Lincoln by 1-0 in the other early FA Cup kickoffs. League 2, Shojo Saka was saying bad-tempered game, Walsall-Tranmere. Shojo, red card.
Yeah, Tranmere had already had 4 red cards when I said that, and Sam Finley's just got himself another one. So he's off for 2 yellows. Central midfielder. It's going to be difficult for Tranmere. I mean, it helps them being so tetchy, but there you go. It's Walsall 2, Tranmere 0, Tranmere down to 10.
Bristol City thought they were in there. Scott Twine on the run down the inside right channel again. Sam Johnston quickly off his line, dealt with the danger, but the offside flag went up. I can't remember a game this season where I've seen the offside flag go up so many times against both of these teams, actually, Dave.
Yeah, both sides have been culpable of it, but in particular Bristol City, when it does look like they have a moment to really run behind this Wolves back three, the flag has gone up, and it's an area they need to try and exploit a little bit more. Wolves play quite a high line, and there is space, especially for the athleticism with Mayulu, who's wearing the number 9 and playing that central striker role for Bristol City. They get more joy by playing it into the channels for him.
Doherty's floated ball downfield, slightly awkward for Roberts to deal with. He doesn't do that. Oh, it's hit the post. The effort from Rodrigo Gomes with his right foot comes back off the woodwork. The ball is still loose on the edge of the Bristol City box. That could have won the cup tie. Bristol City escape. McCrory is pushed over just short of the halfway line. Bristol City get the free kick. They want to go quickly. Space on the left-hand side. They're looking for Mehmeti. Top scorer for the club, gets on the ball inside the Wolves penalty area, dribbling at the Wolves defenders. His shot is blocked, then a back-heeled attempt, close range from McCrory, that's blocked, and the clearance from Gomes hits Scott Twine. The ball goes straight up in the air. Chaotic stuff at the start of the second half at Ashton Gate. Aït-Nouri's clearance then via a deflection makes its way upfield. Aït-Nouri gets a second go with his left foot. That's a brilliant flick on from Strand Larsen. Geddes on the turn inside his own half, and Geddes is away and running here from sunshine to shade. He's got Strand Larsen making the diagonal from left to right. He shoots from range, and O'Leary dives to his left, palms it away, and Bristol City should be able to clear. Goal at Ross County, Kenny Crawford.
41 minutes gone, Ross County 0, Celtic 1. Kyogo's 11th goal of the season, a wonderful low whipped in ball by Alistair Johnson, and Kyogo gets the flicked finish. Ross County 0, Celtic 1.
And Malik Welch has given Rotherham the lead against Bolton in League One. The only game in League One today. Rotherham 1, Bolton 0. Right, Dave Edwards, let's try and sort of sum all of that up. Mad couple of minutes there. First and foremost, Rodrigo Gomes, mistake by Hayden Roberts, very nearly 3-1 to Wolves.
Yeah, inexplicable from Hayden Roberts, takes far too much time as he's running back towards zone goal. Rodrigo Gomes nips in, closing down on Max O'Leary, the Bristol City goal. Toe pokes it past him, but it ricochets back off the post, and Bristol City quickly attack down the other end.
Yeah, a couple of blocked attempts for Bristol City. So this cup tie is certainly livened up. Wolves had total control in the first half. The Scott Twine free kick just before half-time has changed that. And this game, this stadium has come alive. Hayden Roberts got away with one moments ago. Plays back to McNally. Longer ball downfield looking for Mehmeti. Guess what? Offside flag goes up. That'll be a free kick to Wolves. Our producer, beg your pardon, our engineer Phil reminded me today, just looking across the top of the roof of the Dolman stand opposite us, looking at Nelson Mandela House. So that is the building. That is the building that they used for the exterior shots of where Del Boy and Rodney lived in Only Fools and Horses from season 6 onwards, apparently. So there it is, looming over the action here at Ashton Gate. Mehmeti bringing the ball down the left. He's tackled by Geddes. Doherty plays back to Sam Johnston. Wolves keeper outside his penalty area, all in green. Clears from the right back position. Another offside flag goes up, this one against Strand Larsen. And so Bristol City get the free kick. But there's a nice rhythm and flow to this game in the second half at the moment. Marcus McGuane, one of the 3 changes for Bristol City. In central midfield, across to the skipper Jason Knight. McNally involved now, comes to Hayden Roberts on the left, misplaced pass, but it's blocked by Gomes, and the ball goes out of play for a throw-in to Bristol City. And again, to keep this game moving, they take it quickly. Roberts to Knight, back to McNally, across the Bristol City back line it goes. Here's George Tanner, back to Viner. Viner's closed down by Strand Larsen. Low pass forward towards the halfway line. McGuane under a bit of pressure from Gomes, who does really well to spot the run of Tanner. Tanner bringing it forward down the right, feeds McCrory. McCrory tries to make his way past Agbadu. Bristol City keep it. and it's Mayulu, the centre forward on the right, who's tackled. And again, last touch comes off Mayulu. He's had a really frustrating afternoon. Difficult first season for him here at Bristol City, and it's not happening today. It's Bristol City 1, Wolves 2.
It's much better from Bristol City in this second half, though. They're passing forward more often than not. They're looking to get down the sides and beyond that Wolves defence, and they're getting a lot more joy. But at the same time, whilst doing that, they do leave themselves a little bit open to the counter-attack, and Wolves will just be hoping they can get that one moment of quality just to recreate that 2-goal margin.
Yeah, they're going to try that now with Guedes. He's strong as well, Guedes, not the tallest, but he bumps Jason Knight off the ball, keeps control, low pass to João Gomes. Guedes again, just inside his own half. So last time we were at Walsall Tranmere, there was a red card. Now there's been a goal. Shojo.
Yeah, Walsall 1, Tranmere, 10-man Tranmere 1. Connor Jennings from the edge of the box. It was a header which was not cleared away properly. Jennings with a long ranger. Walsall 2, Tranmere 1.
Celtic 1 up at Ross County in the Scottish Premiership as well. Ait Nuri, great skills, dazzling feet, little step over, good balance, but he's lost it. Now that's good control by the centre forward Mayulu. Has support from Mehmeti. Bristol City fans sense something here. Step over from Mehmeti, left-footed drive, hits Doherty. The ball bounces back to the edge of that Wolves penalty area. Mehmeti's going to get another go. He can't escape the attentions of Andre though, who makes the tackle. Short, stocky, central midfielder. Mehmeti drags him back. That'll be a free kick for Wolves. But Mehmeti is suddenly, he's a feature in the game now.
Certainly is. And I said, Bristol City getting the ball forward more quickly. It goes directly into Mayulu. Excellent hold-up play by a striker. Lays it to Mehmeti, who's running in from the left-hand side into the box against Matt Doherty. But what Wolves do so well, and in particular Santi Bieno, he's quickly there to help him and tells Matt Doherty, force him to the outside onto his left foot. I've got your inside. And he does that, and then Matt Doherty gets that block in.
Vitor Pereira's 5th game in charge of Wolves. Started with the 3-0 win against Leicester, then the big win over Manchester United, 2-2 draw against Tottenham, then beaten at home by Nottingham Forest last Monday, leading this game by 2-1. Middlesbrough Blackburn in the FA Cup. Gavin Wallace.
Still 0-0 at the moment, Ali, though we've had some good chances. Harry
Continue listening to Bristol City against Wolves. Updates of the other games you can do on 5 Live Sport. Here we're back in Anfield. Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0 at the break, and there's going to be a couple of changes as well. 2 for Accrington Stanley, 1 for Liverpool. So Chiesa is coming on for Arne Slot's side. The double change for Accrington Stanley is going to see Alex Henderson and Jimmy Knowles come on to replace Ash Hunter, who had his own opportunity at counter-attack in the second half, but was also at fault really for the other counter-attack which Liverpool scored from. Nelson Kumbeni, who I think took a knock at the end of the first half, has also been replaced. So a rare moment for Federico Chiesa since his summer move. He gets his opportunity to try and impress Arne Slot. You saw him warming up right as the half-time whistle went. Mark Albright, the former Leicester and Aston Villa man who's alongside me, and now he gets his opportunity.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching him in his second half. He should have a lot of the ball, lot of opportunities to be positive. So it's a good chance for him. Seeing him warming up just before the half-time whistle, and then he's a bit of an intensive warm-up in the second half.
Could be a bright start to Liverpool at the start of this second half here. Here's Nunez, saved by Krellin, and Chiesa was trying to get in on the follow-up as well, but he couldn't quite. In fact, he might now. The ball's come to him. He swipes it into the side netting. I'm not sure whether the officials know whether that took a deflection or not. They've gone for it and said it did, with a corner kick, just to say that Chiesa replaced Soberslai at the start of this second half. But a bright moment, mostly through Darwin Nunez, but Chiesa was lurking.
Yeah, a couple of chances in there. One for Nunez, one for Chiesa as well. So great start to the second half for Liverpool, and they'll just be looking to get that early goal just to kill the game off.
Only his 5th appearance of the season, Federico Chiesa, as the corner comes in from this near side, the right. So Liverpool all in red. We'll run you through the two teams shortly. Liverpool all in red are from left to right now, attacking the Kop. Accrington Stanley had to change their kit. They traditionally play in red, but being the away side, they're now in royal blue with white shorts and blue socks, moving from right to left in the second half and attacking the 4,700 Accrington Stanley fans that are in the bottom tier of the Anfield Road stand away to our left hand side. Little concern here for Liverpool in the aftermath of the corner. Darwin Nunez has stayed down. He provided the first for Diogo Jota, had a couple of efforts himself, a couple over the bar, one header, one shot, but he is here receiving treatment now.
Yeah, he does look in a little bit of discomfort down there. Stayed down from that corner. The play carried on up the other end of the field, and he stayed down. Looks like he's just holding his right ankle slightly. So yeah, it'll be a concern. It'll be a concern for the manager. But there's replacements on the bench for today's game, but a concern sort of more going forward.
Well, he's up and gets a small round of applause from the Kop. The sun's disappeared behind the clouds again. Light fog off in the distance over Liverpool creates quite a murky scene. Visibility wise here it is good in terms of the action we can see on the pitch, where Liverpool lead by 2-0. Here's Mike Marnie and Mark Albrighton with you this afternoon on Sports Extra. Ali Bruce Ball and Dave Edwards have the second half of Bristol City against Wolves for you, and is also Birmingham City who lead Lincoln by 1-0, and the other third round tie kicking off at 12 o'clock. Goalless all championship affair between Middlesbrough and Blackburn. From 3 o'clock, 5 Live Sports brings you Brentford against Plymouth. Here on Sports Extra, Champions Cup action as Exeter Chiefs take on Bordeaux. Then our evening games in the FA Cup. 5 Live Sport has Leeds against Harrogate, a West v North Yorkshire affair, and 5 Sports Extra will bring you Manchester City against Salford City. Morton sends it long. It's headed away by Accrington Stanley. Here is Worley, who tried to create what he could in the first half for the visitors. Come down the right hand side, and the cross is swung in from the right, attacked by Walton. It will come on this near side for the curling shot from Ben Woods. It is blocked by a couple of players in there for Liverpool who deal with it, but Accrington Stanley are just saying again, as they did in the first half, that we'll not have a lot of the ball, but we're not going to sit back and defend for our lives. We are going to attack when we can. Down the left hand side, across steps Quansah on Worley, the Accrington captain, and it's going to be a throw in to the visitors. Ben Woods. Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0. 4 minutes into the second half. It is Accrington who've just had a dangerous chance coming down the right hand side. Worley the instigator again. Walton trying to get on the end of it and couldn't. It's Bright from Accrington who are 2-0 down. The tie hasn't gone in their perspective yet. They're trying to weed their way in the box now. Hacked away. Liverpool have brought on Chiesa at the start of the second half for a rare appearance for him. Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0. Endo with some defending to do up against Josh Woods. Sends it long down the touchline on the far side. That's Liverpool's left. Nunez back on the pitch trying to help his side forward as well. Now it comes to Alexander-Arnold. Pushes it on early down this near side channel for Chiesa. A little bit of defending here for Accrington to do. They flood their own penalty area. Chiesa takes it to the byline. In the box on the right hand side. Floats it up. Headed inside the 6-yard box away from the Accrington Stanley penalty area. It's up and away from Worley. Walton will chase. Not the best header from Endo. And in fact, Walton has slid in and won the ball ahead of Tsimikas here. So Accrington Stanley in possession, 10 yards inside the Liverpool half. Out towards the far side there, right. 5.5 minutes gone in the second half. They trailed by 2-0. Alexander-Arnold and Jota with the goals in the first half. Rotherham have scored 2 quick goals against Bolton to lead 2-0 now. That's in a League One lunchtime kick-off. Birmingham City lead Lincoln by 1-0. Bristol City 1, Wolves 2, which you can hear on 5 Live Sport right now. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn 0. Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, good bit of play there by Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold getting the ball out to Chiesa, who isolated Ben Woods at left back and got into the box. And I think I really like the ball that he put in. I think it's a little stand up to the centre of the goal. Nunez and Ingamoa, I think it was, that was at the back post, and none of them really made the dart into the central part of the goal. So it was easily cleared in the end. But I'd just like to see one of them, probably Nunez, make a movement forward and make a bit more out of the cross, because I think he did really well to get it to where where he did put it in the end.
Liam Coyle sends it forward. A substitute for Accrington Stanley on the field, and as he does, Liverpool are able to deal with it. 2-0 they lead. They haven't lost in the third round since 2019 when they lost 2-1 against Wolves. Only time in 13 years, as the ball was trying to be slid through for Worley. And maybe the legs of the 37-year-old just let him down a little bit there. Kelleher was quick to react. It's from one end to the other, and the ball safely into the possession of Billy Crellin, the Accrington Stanley goalkeeper. A little bit end-to-end. But again, I think credit has to be given to how Accrington Stanley have approached this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think even with that passage of play there, they look to do the right things. They've got runners breaking the lines of the Liverpool defence, and they've just tried to slip the ball through, and it's just hit too hard on that occasion. But I like the way that they set up. I like how organised they are. I know I said that in the first half, but I'll go back to it. I think they're so organised. They're working hard, and they try and do the right things in possession as well, which has really been a feature.
Liverpool in possession. Accrington Stanley will have to produce something magic in the second half to keep their run going. They've progressed from their last 4 round 3 ties, and they trail 2-0, and Liverpool are in control only of the tie but also of possession right now, with Gerald Quansah, the centre-back, the only recognised centre-back today. He's partnered by Watori Endo, who traditionally a more defensive midfielder, but filling in there today. Virgil van Dijk not included at all in the starting lineup or the substitute side. The same goes for Mo Salah. That's nice. Back heel from Nunez. Back heel from Chiesa. It's got Alexander-Arnold into the penalty area on the right hand side, who chips it up. Chiesa waiting, and it's headed away for now by Zach Orr, but he'll be swung in the box again from this near side, the right. Tyler Morton, heavy control off his thigh on the edge of the penalty area for Liverpool. Sent away by Faz Rawson, and out for a Liverpool throw-in. Some nice little back heels and tricky play in that.
That was really nice play from Liverpool. It was fluid, it was fast. The one-touch football, couple of Cruyffs, couple of little flicks round corners, and all with a purpose as well. They got into the penalty area, and it was just good defending in the end. I think Alexander-Arnold gets an opportunity to put a cross in, but well defended, and the cross was blocked.
Liverpool with the long ball forward to Darwin Nunez, the Uruguayan, who tries to now break into the penalty area. He can't again. Accrington Stanley have dealt with that. Nunez, who hasn't scored since the 2-0 win against Aston Villa at Anfield. Did score in round 4 last season against Norwich, but so did a lot of Liverpool squad. They won 5-2. The deadlock broken at the Riverside. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. FA Cup third round for the Championship sides entering the competition as well. There's Ben Woods with the throw-in for Accrington Stanley, midway inside the Liverpool half, flicked into the middle. Coyle will then turn, spin the ball out towards the far right-hand side. They have numbers over here. Donald Love's gone on the overlap of Josh Woods. The ball comes to Love inadvertently by a couple of double deflections, and they've won a corner right in front of their fans on the far side. Good work down the right from Accrington Stanley.
Yeah, they just look like they're getting that little bit more confidence. I've seen a couple of times in his second half with little flicks round corners and a bit more flair to them. I think on that occasion it's a spread of play and a diagonal pass, and they've got numbers over, so it's looking ominous.
Corner from the far side, swung in towards the back post. Header is down from Josh Woods again, and it hits the legs of an unknowing Jota and goes behind, this time for a corner on the near side left.
Yeah, deep across from the corner there, and Josh Woods is round the back, and he tries to head it back across goal, back where it come from, but Jota was in the way and stood there firm.
So they reset again, Accrington Stanley, as a charge towards the corner taker to take it short here. Flicked back by Worley. Here is Woods. Woods trying to get the shot away, and does, and it hits the crossbar, I think. Ball flies up into the air and into the Anfield Road stand behind the goal to our left-hand side. Vicious shot from Josh Woods, the Liverpool fan, but he couldn't get his big moment at Anfield.
Well, that's the one that he would have been dreaming about. He's caught it so nice. He's took a couple of touches to get to the edge of the box, and he on the spin he won't catch a ball much better than that. He's really caught hold of it, and Kelleher looked like he was in full control of it, but it rattles the crossbar.
Absolutely flew up into the air after hitting the upside of the crossbar, and the goal away to our left hand side. Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0. And again, I think John Doolan, the Accrington Stanley manager, the Everton fan, can be happy with how his side have held here at Anfield, the home of his team's biggest rivals. Accrington Stanley, who started the season so poorly, they didn't win until October. 10 games at the start of the season before they beat Morecambe. Harvey Elliott's gone down just outside the centre circle inside the Liverpool half here, so another stoppage in play. The lunging challenge got nowhere near the ball and took Elliott in the aftermath from Alex Henderson.
Yeah, it just looked like he caught him on the inside of the ankle there. Ball has just got a bit further away from him, and it is a late one, it is a sore one, especially in these conditions. Obviously with Harvey Elliott's injury a couple of years ago, you do worry when he goes down the way he did go down, but hopefully it's not too bad, not too much, and he'll get up and carry on. But I think they are preparing a couple of subs down here as well.
Yeah, the likes of Connor Bradley are going to come on, and James McConnell too, as Elliott just has his left ankle flexed by the physio. Sean Worley and Trent Alexander-Arnold in conversation. At what points do the conversations happen of "I'll have your shirt" at the end of the game?
Probably in the build-up during the week. you find somebody that knows somebody. Oh, you used to work here, so you'll know him. Can you get him to message him? That's how it usually works. And then there's a couple of last-minute ones on the day, but there'll definitely be a few people asking at this pause.
So who's got a Mark Albrighton shirt then?
Oh, only the best. Only the best.
Lionel Messi has one on his wall.
He does. Yeah. He certainly does. I'm sure he knows exactly where that is.
The good news is that Harvey Elliott is up. Whether he can continue may be something else, but he's walking off very gingerly, just trying to stretch out that left ankle, and he's grimacing a little bit in pain. Here come the changes then. So Tyler Morton is going to be replaced by James McConnell, who's one of the Liverpool players who played against Accrington in the Football League Trophy back in 2022. Lost 3-2 that day. His third FA Cup appearance for Liverpool. Connor Bradley, the exciting young right back, is also coming on. He's going to replace the man who has given Liverpool that little bit of daylight. Trent Alexander-Arnold's thunderbolt right at the end of the first half gave them a 2-0 lead. He's off.
Yeah, good day's work for Alexander-Arnold. He started the game. He's probably the most senior player to have started today. He's got the armband and he's got his goal, so he'll be pleased with his performance. He had there a good hour, so he can be pleased with what he's done today. Worked hard and shown that little bit of quality. So and now fresh legs, and that can only be worrying for Accrington Stanley.
Yeah, Connor Bradley, a very exciting player. Let's see what James McConnell can do as well, the 20-year-old Englishman. Hour mark passed. Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0 on 5 Sports Extra. Still Bristol City 1, Wolves 2 on 5 Live. Arsenal Manchester United to come tomorrow as well. Big all Premier League affair that. As Ruben Amorim returns back to the Emirates. He lost there as one of his first games as Manchester United manager. Connor Bradley, Gerald Quansah and Wataru Endo just string a load of passes together across the Liverpool penalty area. Quansah is looking forward again with, despite being more of a regular first team player than perhaps those around him, he does wear the high number of 78 on the back of his shirt. He's part of the Liverpool under-21 squad that lost in the Football League Trophy in 2022 as well, alongside the likes of McConnell. Played in the FA Youth Cup final defeat against Aston Villa in 2021 as well, did Quansah and Bradley. As Liverpool in possession, far side, their left. Back to Quaveen Kelleher, who replaces Alisson for this game. Alisson not involved in the matchday squad. Vyacheslav Jaros is the backup goalkeeper. Should Liverpool need it, the Czech Republic player. Did play in the League Cup win over Brighton, did Jaros, so he's had first team experience this year. That's a nice ball forward that is given the offside flag against Tyler Walton. Liverpool fan looking to score on this ground. Made his run a little bit too early, and that's given Liverpool a free kick.
Yeah, just touching on the young lads that have come on and that have started the game. I think it's, you can see it, and I know Dion Dublin spoke earlier before the game about how they come in and they seem confident. They don't seem to have fear. Kwanzaa, he looks composed. Obviously, we've seen a lot of Conor Bradley in recent weeks, recent months. Very composed. Morton today, very composed. McConnell, he's come on. He seems like he likes having the ball at his feet. So these young players are coming on the biggest stage and really just taking to it and feeling relaxed, and that's promising for their futures.
A double change for Accrington Stanley, which has seen Conor O'Brien come on and Seamus Keneally also come on, their longest serving player. He's been with the club since 2015 as the 36-year-old Irishman. His 367th appearance in an Accrington Stanley shirt. So he's on. Off goes Dan Martin, also off. He won't get his goal at Anfield. Josh Woods has been replaced, but he did hit the crossbar, and that'll be a moment that I'm sure he wishes just went a little better. But as a Liverpool fan playing at Anfield, what an afternoon he's had.
I can't imagine the amount of times he'll be going over that shot that he's had. How many times tonight he'll be going over that in his head, thinking just a couple of centimetres lower, and it's a screamer at Anfield.
All the highlights will be available on the BBC Sport website and app, so if you missed any of the goals of any of the FA Cup third round games, you can watch those pretty much as they go in, certainly immediately after the game this afternoon, so make sure you keep refreshing the BBC Sport website and app. Birmingham City have doubled their lead now at St Andrews. Birmingham City 2, Lincoln City nil, as Accrington Stanley with a header at the back post very nearly get themselves back in this game. Donald Love lurking in, pouncing, but couldn't guide his header on target.
Yeah, everything about it, bar that final header is fantastic. The ball is beautifully flighted into the box. The run is timed to perfection, but he just can't get his head over it and guide it into that far corner.
We talk about all the Liverpool connections. Donald Love, the former Manchester United youngster, will probably love a goal at Anfield just as much as those Liverpool fans here. Not to be. And Liverpool now looking to punish Accrington Stanley for wasting their chances. Here's Ingamo, the youngster. First time we've really seen him come to life in the second half. Squares it, edge of the penalty area for Jota. Just moves it back out towards the left-hand side for Ingamo. Here's McConnell. Takes a nice little 360 turn there just to take one player out of the game. Nunez trying to force it through on the left of the penalty area in between a couple of blue-shirted Accrington players. He couldn't. And Accrington Stanley are able to clear it now. Out towards the right-hand side. Worley, who's still got the legs on him, up against Kwanzaa, will move infield. Darts back down the right-hand line, trying to make his decision as to where to go. Can he get a cross in? I think he's played that cleverly off Kwanzaa, who was on the cover, and Tsimikas, and he's earned Accrington Stanley a corner. Really good work by Worley.
Yeah, I think he'd probably be the standout player for Accrington in this game. He was lively in the first half, had a couple of opportunities, found himself in some good positions, and even in that instance there, he's done ever so well to get his team a corner and get them up the pitch.
66 minutes played. Accrington Stanley with another set piece in at the near post. Where's the loose ball coming? Edge of the box. Oh, it's a wild strike that wasn't caught cleanly by Alex Henderson, and what could have gone anywhere flew out towards the right hand side. That's again another opportunity where certainly Henderson saw his name in lights, but the lights went very dim very quickly.
I think his eyes must have lit up as that was rolling out to the edge of the box, and he's seen himself running onto it, but he just gets it horribly wrong, and and really doesn't make a good contact with his left foot. And I think anything on target there through bodies has got a chance, but that was well wide of the mark.
Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0. The voice of Mark Albrighton on 5 Sports Extra. The former Aston Villa and Leicester City man, his Villa team through to the 4th round after beating West Ham last night. Wickham through after beating Portsmouth. Everton, Fulham and Cardiff through from Thursday night. Sent away by Krellin, the Accrington Stanley goalkeeper, up and over the halfway line. Krellin on loan from Everton. Was the hero in the second round. He saved a couple of penalties as Accrington beat Swindon from spot kicks after a 2-2 draw. Liverpool just see it away. Anywhere will do in that circumstance. It's come back with Accrington now on the right hand side. Worley, poor low ball to the corner of the penalty area. That's picked off, and now Chiesa looking forward. He's going down the middle through the centre circle. Nunez takes on the loose ball. Nunez with the shot. Across comes Rawson. And it's defended and out for a corner. It had to be an important and well-timed sliding challenge. He might have hurt his lower back in the process. He won't care. He stopped Liverpool getting a third.
Yeah, fantastic defending there by Rawson. He follows Nunez with every step of his run. It's a good run by Nunez. Chiesa finds him well as well. Well-timed pass, but Rawson just matches it and makes the block in the end and gets it out for a corner. But that's another sign of Liverpool and how they can hit you on the counter attack, because Accrington we just started to have a little bit of possession then.
Past the halfway point then of the second half, we've played 68 minutes. Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0. Tsimikas corner left hand side, in swinging delivery. Rawson again. The man in the middle for Accrington Stanley with his head sends it up and over towards the far side. Liverpool trying to be first to react to it, and they are. And they have it on the halfway line with McConnell now into the centre circle for Quansah. Closing stages of some of the 12 o'clock kickoffs in the FA Cup third round. Birmingham City 2, Lincoln City 0. Middlesbrough still 1-0 down against Blackburn, and on 5 Live Sport right now with Alistair Bruce Ball and Dave Edwards, you've got Bristol City 1, Wolves 2. Here's Tsimikas, left hand side. Ingamoa, the 16-year-old, youngest ever starter for Liverpool. Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0. Nearly had a third with Nunez going down the middle, released by Chiesa, the half-time substitute. But it was a brilliant sliding challenge from Rawson to block the ball for a corner at the other end moments ago. Josh Woods, the Liverpool fan who's now been replaced in this second half, smacked the crossbar looking for that glory goal at Anfield. Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0. With 20 minutes to go, Liverpool have a throw in 10 yards from the byline, deep inside the Accrington Stanley half.
Yeah, I think obviously we're almost 70 minutes in now, and I think whatever happens, I think Accrington Stanley can hold their heads high and be really proud of themselves. They'll still be looking to get one or two moments in this last 20 minutes, but whatever happens, they can really be proud of themselves today. They've given a really good account of themselves, and both with and without the ball, I've been really impressed with them. So they need to take this form now on into their league form and climb up the table. Yeah,
they're only 5 points off the relegation zone in League 2, which would see them drop back into non-league football, somewhere they haven't been in almost 20 years. Up and over from Liam Coyle, the chase will come, but the bounce should take that into Quaveen Kelleher's penalty area, and does. So Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0. A little bounce around from the Accrington Stanley fans behind the goal to our left hand side. They've got the majority of the bottom tier, I'd say 80% of the bottom tier of the Anfield Road stand to our left hand side, watching their team in blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks, and that is well run by Donald Love to get ahead of Ingamoa. And it's delivered early from the corner of the penalty area, but the header was needed from Endo, behind for another Accrington Stanley corner. Yeah, another good moment for Accrington. Donald Love at the right back position has just nicked in front, and he's on the front foot. He's got the ball
and he's positive, and they want to attack. They've always got at least 2 players in the box, and they've always got numbers forward to create opportunities. So another corner, hopefully they can create something from this.
Well, it's been a debut that he can remember. He's made a little bit of Liverpool history as well. Rio Ingamoa is replaced by Jayden Danns, more on him in a moment, but Ingamoa is 16 years old, born August 2008, gets a handshake from Arne Slot and a pat on the back. He's Liverpool's youngest ever player to start a game, and he's held his own on the left hand side. I don't think we've seen too much of him, too much of the trickery that he perhaps possesses, but a steady debut, and his side lead 2-0 at the other end. Accrington corner then is too deep, far too deep, over everybody, and goes behind for a goal kick. His replacement, Jayden Danns, 18-year-old, his second FA Cup appearance, his first, his debut in the competition was a memorable one. He got 2 goals here in a round 5 win over Southampton last season, and he's on and takes his spot right in the middle of that Liverpool attacking line.
Yeah, he'll be looking for goals, I'm sure. Having got a taste of it before, I'm sure he'll be looking for even more now. Like you say, he's gone very central. He's making runs already, so he'll want a couple of opportunities in these last sort of 15-20 minutes, and he'll be looking to take them.
He's got 17 minutes left of normal time to try and make an impression. Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0. Do you remember your FA Cup debut? I haven't got it. It's really poor statistician work. Here's Chiesa. We'll come to that in a minute. Chiesa side netting through the legs of Krellin. Must have taken a deflection. Goes behind for a corner.
The answer is no. No, I don't. I remember, I think it was my first FA Cup goal away at Sheffield United. I think that was a round 3 tie. But no, my FA Cup debut, I'm not sure of.
See if I've got time to find it. Liverpool corner, near side, the right, so Tsimikas in swinging, left-footed delivery is expected. In it comes, floated towards the rear of the penalty area. Krellin comes out, double fist away, and out for a throw on the far side. Good smart goalkeeping that.
Yeah, keeper does really well there. A lot of bodies in the 6-yard box. He comes out and he deals with it confidently, deals with it well, and puts it out for a throw in. And Liverpool, yeah, just being patient, just getting a bit more control in this second half now, and they'll be looking to see the game out.
Aston Villa 3, Brighton 2, January 2010, FA Cup 4th round. Mark Albrighton's FA Cup bow. He started the game.
I'm sure I came off early, did I?
Came off after 13 minutes, replaced by James Milner.
I'm sure I was injured setting up Nathan D'Alfonso for the first goal. I'm sure that was the case. I do remember it now.
Yeah, survived another 8 minutes after D'Alfonso's goal. But then was replaced on 13 minutes. Lincoln have tried to make it nervy a little bit at the end. In the FA Cup 3rd round, Birmingham City lead 2-1 at St Andrews. They're deep into stoppage time now. They've just entered stoppage time at the Riverside, where it's Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn 1. It is still closing stages. Could be a nervy one at Ashton Gate. 5 Live Sport. Bristol City 1, Wolves 2. Championship against Premier League, looking for an upset at Ashton Gate, as Accrington Stanley are going to form here. They've lost all 3 previous ties against Premier League opponents, in the form of Fulham in 2010, Middlesbrough in 2017, and Leeds a couple of years ago back in 2023. Quansah, aimless ball, misguided completely towards Nunez. Nunez gives him the thumbs up, and Quansah put his hands on the back of his head, knew he disappointed himself there. Liverpool 2, Accrington Stanley 0, with 15 minutes to go here on Sports Extra. Plenty more to come. Manchester City against Salford from 5:30 this evening. Your next Sports Extra FA Cup commentary. We're going to Rugby Union after this. The Champions Cup Exeter against Bordeaux on 5 Live Sport from 3 o'clock. It is going to be Brentford against Plymouth, and Jayden Danns has just put through. Chiesa, big save by Krellin. Danns on the follow-up. He does it again in the FA Cup. Accrington Stanley exposed to the brilliant work of Jayden Danns. He fed it out to Chiesa. Chiesa's shot saved, but Danns was in the right place at the right time. Scored here twice last year, and he's done it again and seals the tie for Liverpool. Liverpool 3, Accrington Stanley 0. Big moment for Jayden Danns in front of the Kop once again. And Liverpool now are looking forward to round 4 of the FA Cup, the draw on Monday night. And that's the tie done for Liverpool. Jayden Danns on as a substitute, scored in the FA Cup in his debut in the competition last year. Now he's done it again in front of the Kop to give Liverpool a 3-0 lead. He did some brilliant work in the midfield, fed it out to Chiesa on the right-hand side. His shot was blocked, but Danns was there on the follow-up. Liverpool 3, Accrington Stanley 0. And Accrington here are going to make a change as well. Kelsey Mooney is going to come on and replace another Liverpool fan in Tyler Walton. But again, Danns on, lively as a substitute, gets his goal.
Yeah, we spoke about it when he first came on, how he loves a goal, he loves getting in them positions, but that's all his own work. That was brilliant from start to finish from Jayden Danns. He's won the ball back, he's nicked in front of a couple of defenders, he's played a lovely ball down to Chiesa, whose effort was saved by the goalkeeper, but after Danns has played his pass, he's followed it into a goal scoring position, expecting that rebound, and he finishes it well first time, and just peeling off in front of that Kop, that big Kop stand there in front of us is you can see how much it means to him. So a great moment for the young lad.
For those of you old enough to remember, Neil Danns, the former Bury and Bolton player amongst others, is his dad, and I'm sure watching on. Another Liverpool youngster's going to get some minutes here as well at Anfield. Wataru Endo is replaced, and Trey Neone comes on, 17 years old. Got his debut earlier this season in the League Cup. He played in the win against Brighton. He started in the win in the League Cup against Southampton. Ex-Leicester City Academy player, and wearing number 98 on the back of his red shirt. He takes a holding midfield role. It's a little reshuffle for Arne Slot at the back, which I think has seen McConnell go to centre-back alongside Quansah for these final few moments.
Yeah, there's some big numbers out there on the back of shirts now, isn't there? But it's nice to see the young lads getting a chance. Like we were saying, like Liverpool...
Nice from
the attack again.
Yeah, with some lovely skill from Conor Bradley to start this one off. Here's Chiesa looking desperate for a goal. Left-footed shot takes several deflections, nearly carried into the path of Darwin Núñez on the left of the 6-yard box, but Accrington Stanley have managed to get that away. A little bit unsettled by the third goal that's just gone in, it would seem. Here's McConnell. Does he keep it in play? Not quite on the touchline. Far side, just past the halfway line. Blackburn have won, so they're through to the 4th round. They've beaten Middlesbrough at the Riverside by a goal to nil. Closing moments at Ashton Gate, where Bristol City are taking on Wolves. They're 2-1 down on the West Country side. You can get that on 5 Live Sport right now. Birmingham City still lead Lincoln 2-1. 7 minutes of added time played there already at St Andrews. We've got 10 minutes left of normal time here. Can Accrington Stanley just put a little shine on their day out at Anfield? One that they've carried themselves well in. It's a cross in from the right hand side. Nobody really near it in a blue shirt. Birmingham City have won. They've beaten Lincoln 2-1. Liverpool on the counter-attack again. It's 5 against 3 forward. Chiesa, edge of the box, leaves it off for Harvey Elliott. Angle will be tight for him, and Danns, the ball was behind him, and he tried his best to control or do a clever flick into the net, and he couldn't get that second goal for him this afternoon.
Yeah, I think with Harvey Elliott there, as good as he's done to get himself in that position, I think he needs a bit more quality just at the end of where he's put the ball across. I think it's just behind Danns, but there's another 2 players in Jota and Núñez that are behind Danns, that just a simple ball on the floor across the face of goal, and any one of 3 of them can just tap it in, and it's 4-0, and it's another goal to Liverpool. But he wraps it too high, too hard, and it's difficult for Danns to deal with.
Yeah, I think with the pace of the ball, whether Dan's got the call or not, any call would have been too late for his own reaction. Yeah. So Liverpool 3, Accrington Stanley 0 it remains. 9 minutes of normal time left here, and plenty more to come as well on what should be an exciting day of FA Cup 3rd round action, and is still a magical competition as Worley gets the ball out to the right hand side. Here's Conor O'Brien for the League 2 opposition of Liverpool this afternoon. Seamus Keneally Cross will be low from the far side touchline, and it doesn't even get into the penalty area before Tsimikas blocks it off, and then Nunez on the halfway line plays it back for Nioni, and just a little frustration around the Liverpool fans there, because I think they sensed that Nunez had not only laid the ball off to Nioni by holding off his man, but he turned his man and was clear down the left.
Yeah, I think you're always going to get that at stadiums, but obviously it's a young lad in the middle of the park. You're 3-0 up, the ball's come to him, he just wants to play a simple pass and just keep possession of the ball. But yeah, you can see the fans' frustration, because I think they've probably come here today thinking that they're going to see 5, 6, maybe 7 goals, and that's not been the case, and that's obviously credit to Accrington who have frustrated them in parts of this game today.
And there's more FA Cup opponents where certain fans might be hoping for a glut of goals, and certain opposition might be hoping to keep them at bay as best they can. Chelsea Morecambe perhaps being one of those this afternoon. And that's to come from 3 o'clock. Leeds Harrogate, your commentary on 5 Live Sport from 5:45, when on Sports Extra you get Manchester City against Salford City. Leyton Orient against Derby called off, by the way, later tonight. That was an early decision made, frozen pitch, as you can imagine. Difficult conditions across the country. And it just leaves the question that actually, although we came here and wondered whether this tie would be better as Accrington against Liverpool rather than Liverpool-Accrington, the beauty of these Premier League grounds is at least it's game on.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think the especially the last sort of two or 3 weeks, with the weather that we've had, there's been a lot of lower league games called off. So, like you say, we've got the game on today. It's a day out for them Accrington Stanley supporters over there. Their team have done them proud, and it's been a good occasion and worthy of the FA Cup.
And with the TV cameras in, a decent crowd here at Anfield as well, of which 4,700 are Accrington Stanley supporters. There'll be a big payday coming the League Two side's way. Free kick they had just before the halfway line, floated towards the penalty area. Comfortable gather for Quaveen Kelleher. Bristol City haven't managed to salvage it against Wolves, so Bristol City 1, Wolves 2. 2 quick goals from Wolves, one from Gomez, one from Aït-Nouri. The difference, Scott Twine did get one back for the home side, but ultimately it wasn't enough. 6 minutes left here. Little forceful charge by Ben Woods on the near side on Chiesa, and that's given Liverpool a throw-in which Conor Bradley will take. Did play against Accrington Stanley, Conor Bradley, in the 2022-23 season when he was at Bolton Wanderers on loan, and Accrington Stanley were in League One. They have since suffered relegation. It's good work down the left-hand side from Ben Woods again. Here's Henderson. His was the last touch as he went by the corner flag, trying to win a set piece for Accrington Stanley, and it's given Liverpool a goal kick.
Yeah, I think he's tried to get the free kick there after he's just knocked the ball out of play. But again, they're having spells. They've got some good individual players. I think Ben Woods as well, who's I've been impressed with him. He's had a tough day today, especially in the second half. He's been up against Chiesa, and that's not an easy task, and he's stuck to it, and when he's had the ball he's always looked for the right pass, and just been really impressed all over the pitch with him.
Clearance from Billy Krellin is down the middle of the field, but easily picked up by Nioni. And Zach Orr's got to make the right decision here with Conor Bradley all over the back of him. Conor Bradley just clips his heels inside the Accrington Stanley penalty area, gives them a free kick. Less than 5 minutes to go. Liverpool 3, Accrington Stanley 0 here in the FA Cup third round, and Liverpool going strong in the Premier League, top of the Champions League phase format. Semi-finals of the League Cup, although they lost the first leg on Wednesday night against Spurs. That was Liverpool's first defeat in 25 matches, and now through to the fourth round of the FA Cup. It has been an impressive first half of the season for Arne Slot in his debut season as Liverpool manager. Here's an Accrington chance, but a heavy touch from Conor O'Brien on the right of the penalty area just allows Tsimikas to nip in, take control of the ball. Runs out towards the far side touchline. McConnell joins in. Tsimikas then volleys it away as the ball bounced around, and it's out for a throw-in. And really, for the first time this afternoon, Anfield gets a chant going, and they can feel themselves going through to the fourth round of the FA Cup.
Yeah, I'm surprised with the atmosphere. Obviously, they've turned up in the numbers. I don't know whether it's the cold or what, but they've turned up in the numbers. But it has been relatively quiet, and I think with what you've just said there, top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, semi-finals of the League Cup.
Nunez flicks it round the back of Rawson, then goes to ground. He slipped as doing so. Jota picks up the loose ball, played back in towards Chiesa, wants it on his left foot, low shot, hits the post. Krellin could just stand and watch at his near post, but it's the right hand side of the frame that denies Chiesa his first Liverpool goal. Here's Elliott forward, chip through, and it's over for a goal kick. Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, again, Chiesa, he's found himself in some great positions. This time he gets on his left foot and tries to reverse it into this near corner and catch the goalkeeper off guard a little bit, and he does that. He probably don't connect with it as well what he would have wanted to, but it was still it still had the keeper beaten, but it's just come off the outside of the post there. But again, he has been a threat in this second half.
Trying to show exactly what Liverpool spent £10 million on. Here's Wally. Oh, well, the ball fell to him. 25 yards out, half volley hit. Lovely shot. Flat, low delivery. But Kelleher was equal to it.
Yeah, fantastic strike, lovely technique. I think I don't think he wanted to take the touch to go further into the box just in case the centre half's caught him. So I think he's made the right decision there in taking the shot on, but either side I think it troubles Kelleher, but it's straight down his throat in the end as well as what he caught it.
Kelleher goes long with his clearance, and it's Accrington Stanley back in control, 10 yards inside their own half, out towards the right hand side. Less than 2 minutes of normal time to go. Liverpool 3-0 up on Accrington Stanley. And big week of Premier League action. Myself and Mark will be back on Merseyside on Wednesday night. We're watching Everton against Aston Villa. Everton today, who have appointed David Moyes as their manager. Here's Dance just away from the centre circle, moves away. He's looked lively since coming on. And Accrington defend. Away again, here they come. No, too much on that, too much bite from Conor O'Brien. And that's going to give Liverpool a free kick 10 yards inside the Accrington Stanley half, left hand side of the centre circle, into the final minute of normal time. Liverpool 3, Accrington Stanley 0. Here's Chiesa again, still desperate for his goal. It's a low shot from Chiesa. He does get his first Liverpool goal. Long range effort down into the bottom right hand corner, and Liverpool have their fourth. Chiesa sneaks it in, he hit the post a moment ago, and it's Liverpool 4, Accrington Stanley 0.
Yeah, fantastic strike there from Federico Chiesa. He's done absolutely superb there to find himself in that position, and he's had a couple of chances just before that he's hit the post. He's had one saved by the keeper, but this time he gets it all right, and it goes in that far corner, and fantastic finish, and that's just the icing on the cake there for Liverpool.
25 yards out, whereas Alexander-Arnold right at the end of the first half sent it into the top corner. This is low into the far left hand side of the goal, through the legs of Zakor, and Krellin tried to get down low but eventually couldn't get there. It is Liverpool 4, Accrington Stanley 0. The icing on the cake. The League Two side have done themselves proud, but Premier League quality shows. Liverpool 4, Accrington Stanley 0. And from kick-off, Krellin will try and go long, will try and send it high into the air, but Accrington now are knowing that the afternoon is done. We're into added time. Again, Liverpool, like they did in the first half, habit of scoring right as the board goes up, so we're all focusing on the goal and the celebrations and miss how much added time. We'll try and find out. 5 minutes of added time for you. We've had almost one of those. Liverpool 4, Accrington Stanley 0. Ball down the right hand side here for Conor Bradley. Is 4-0 fair, Mark Albrighton?
I think on the whole and on...
Well, they're coming again here, Liverpool. Oh, Zakor has flicked the ball up inadvertently. Low ball rolled in from Conor Bradley on the right hand side. It hit the top of the boot of Zakor nearly flew over Billy Crellin. It's behind for a corner.
Yeah, as I was saying, I think just on the whole, I think there's not been a great deal in it in terms of clear-cut chances. I think Liverpool have been in control of the game. Accrington have had spells when they've done well, but I think it comes down to quality, and I think Liverpool have showed 4 pieces of quality which have got them their 4 goals, which Accrington probably just haven't had in front of goal.
Tsimikas from the near side right, heads go up, couple of deflections, no one with a convincing touch, and behind it goes for an Accrington Stanley goal kick. They're not going to take their time. There have been periods in this game where you just wondered whether they could create anything at 0-0. Sean Worley was lively down the left-hand side, but Liverpool, from a counter-attack of an Accrington Stanley free kick, took the lead. Trent Alexander-Arnold right on half-time made it 2-0, and that might have just quashed any hopes. But at 2-0, Josh Woods hit the bar, and you're thinking maybe. But Jayden Danns made it 3, and from that point, really, the tie was most certainly sealed on a chilly afternoon on Merseyside. There's glimpses of blue sky, largely crowded out by thin grey cloud to create that haze above Liverpool this afternoon. There's a swung-in cross on the right-hand side that was always arcing over the byline, and behind it goes for a goal kick. Liverpool 4, Accrington Stanley 0, 2 minutes of added time to go.
Yeah, and I think even though it is 4-0, I don't change my view on it. I do think Accrington players can really hold their heads up high. They can go over to their fans at the end of the game and take a well-deserved applause from their travelling supporters. They've defended well and organised, especially in that first first half. I think second half it's become a little bit more stretched. There's been a bit more space for Liverpool to find gaps and find spaces between lines and out wide. But then even with the ball, Accrington, I feel like have really tried to do the right things. They've not sat back and just tried to be direct with it and chase lost courses. They've tried to play, they've tried to make passes and build up and try and go forward that way, and it's got them in a couple of times, and they've just missed the opportunities. But on the whole, I'm pleased with what I've seen from Accrington.
Well, whilst Mark Albright was talking there, Billy Crellin, the goalkeeper, has just received some treatment from the physios on the pitch. The TV cameras are panned to Andy Holt, the Accrington owner and chairman, and big payday coming his way for the club. And he's really, over the last few years, stabilised them as a Football League club, and we'll be hoping that they can continue in League 2 at the end of this season. 5 points off the relegation zone at the minute. Now, they had won back-to-back games coming into this fixture after a run of 8 without a win inside 90 minutes. Their FA Cup journey took them to beat Rushall Olympic in the opening round, and a penalty win over Swindon 2-2 after 90 minutes there in round 2. But it'll stop here at Anfield. But it's been a memorable day out for the 4,700 Accrington Stanley fans that have made this journey. We've almost hit the 5 minutes of added time. It's whether we go over that with the injury to Crellin, but with this tie done, maybe the referee will have sympathy with the players and want to get back in the warm as quickly as he can, and he does. Bang on 95 minutes. Liverpool have comfortably beaten Accrington Stanley by 4-0 this afternoon. Now the shirt swapping can begin from the players, I guess, on the pitch. The Accrington Stanley players who held their own for large parts of this game. They were in it at 0-0 for half an hour before Diogo Jota tapped home a Darwin Núñez low cross. Trent Alexander-Arnold made it 2-0 right on half-time. And in the second half, Josh Woods hit the bar, but soon after, Jayden Danns hit the back of the net. 3-0 for Liverpool at that point. And then on 90 minutes, Federico Chiesa made it 4-0 with his first goal for Liverpool. Full time, Liverpool 4, Accrington Stanley 0.